Hey guys, Cheyenne here with Shy Creative. I'm going to walk you through an edit on this senior photo, and this was such a fun set. Really cloudy day this day. I shot this in Denver, and actually we got rained out, so we had to stop mid session. But I'm going to walk you through just what I do on an edit, and maybe you can get something out of it. So as you can see, I just kind of brightened it a little bit, and maybe a little bit of contrast, and then I'm just going to open it. I don't like to do a whole lot of edits. I like to do most all my edits in Adobe Photoshop, and I'm using CC, and I'm also using a Mac. So the first thing I do when I'm editing is I double click this magnifying glass so that I can see it at 100%. Okay, and you want to make sure at 100% that the eyes are crisp, that the lips are crisp, and that nothing's really blurry. I don't even show my clients images where the eyes are slightly blurred because I know that I can't edit them to perfection. So I don't even show my clients that. The next thing I look for is this color profile down here in your lower right hand or left hand corner. It says sRGB, and that is what you're gonna want as the color profile, because when you send it to print, that's what most printers printing photographs professionally are going to print in. So you want to edit in that also. Another way to check that is to go to edit, and under assign profile right here, that's when you can, I'll even show you, like sometimes my camera brings it in as pro, and that's what you start with, and then you make all these edits and it's like what, and then you go to send it to print and the prints come back and they're not what you had corrected them to be. So you just want to make sure everything matches, so that when you do send it off to print, it's ready to go. So those are the two things to check for prior to even getting started. And then the next thing that I do is I go in and I take out all of the temporary, and by that I mean I'm gonna leave all of her cute little moles and freckles, but I'm gonna take out the stuff using the Band-Aid tool, which is one of my favorites, and my bracket keys, my left and right bracket keys make my brush smaller or bigger. I'm gonna take out these spots here that's her mascara that ran, that flaked off. That's all temporary stuff that is not obviously on her all the time. I like to take out eyebrow lashes that maybe didn't quite get plugged. So here's a good example. When I use my Band-Aid tool, it's not getting rid of that, no matter how many times I go over it. And that's just because of the way my computer's sampling. So I'm gonna go into my stamp tool. I'm gonna use that instead. I'm gonna make it super small. I'm gonna sample right below, and I'm just gonna cover that. So this is a great demonstration of how your stamp tool and your Band-Aid tool work hand in hand. I use both of them all the time, intermittently. So intermittently, yes. Sorry. So the next thing with these hairs that come across her face, obviously you're going to want to take those out. So the best way to start with those is using the Band-Aid tool. Just drag right over top, try to keep the hair in the center, otherwise it does that. And then you want to come in and kind of add some zigzag to it too, because otherwise you're going to have this line, I'll show you right here, where you can obviously see right where you've been. So it's always good to just go over it again, so that everything blends together, and you know, you don't have any kind of lines that look like you edited. So I like to go in and clean up this hair here so that you can see her face. And when a line is horizontal, like when a hair piece is horizontal and it's kind of perpendicular to another area, like this was, you can just drag it into that area and it'll clean it up. So that's a really nice hint, and I do that a lot. So go into it, not away from it. Okay, now in looking at her face, I'm just gonna kind of go in where I see she has such a clean, clear complexion. It doesn't really need, she doesn't need a lot on here. These cute little lips. I know this girl, she's one of my friend's daughters, so I can say stuff like that. Here is another piece of hair, and here's where it kind of gets tricky, so you got to take your time. Zoom in. I'm at a 200% at this point. I make my brush super small and I just do zigzag instead of following it straight, because I want her eyelashes to stay, you know, intact essentially. So I'll follow that little guy out. And then again with your stamp tool to make them all, you know, work. And this is fun to show actually, because a lot of times clients do not understand the amount of work that goes into post-production. You know, depending on how in-depth you get with your editing. But a lot of clients, you know, it doesn't come out of the camera looking like that. So it's important that you take the time to show them their best self. And so that's minus, you know, zits and all that. But a lot of times they don't understand because they don't remember like what they look like then, as far as like zits go and different things like that. And I love, if you are going to be an in-depth editor with your photos, I would highly recommend you just zoom in as much as you can on your images, because the attention to detail is so important when you're putting out a final product. Okay, so complexion-wise, I think we're good on her. She's just beautiful. I won't even need to adjust her lip color at all. The next thing I see is when I look at her halo here, these little wispy hairs. I'm going to take those off also because they're distracting. So I'm going to use my Band-Aid tool, and like I said before, you just go right into the base of her head. If it doesn't work the first time, you just do it again. Just do it multiple times here, and this will be a good example to show you again how the stamp tool works with the Band-Aid tool. So I'm always going to go into her head when I'm correcting these. And then you can go back with like a zig and a zag, and you can take out the line that might have formed. Sometimes it doesn't sample right, and that's all right too. You just gotta keep going over it again and again. Like right here is a good example. And then what I also do to avoid, you know, that look is I take my stamp tool and I sample a similar color, and then I take the opacity down, and then I just kind of go in and oop. If you mess up too much and you do a Control Z and it doesn't take away it, you can go over to your history right here and just click up on the history of what you're doing, and it'll take you back as far as you want to go. I have mine set to I think like 55 or something like that. So that is a good way to deal with that, because I do that all the time. I get finger happy. on my Control Z's. And I like to take that opacity down when I'm using my stamp tool because I can always go over it again and again. And then that way my color isn't so harsh. Oh my goodness. Okay, again, I'm gonna got a little zealous there. That one was okay. All right, and then this is kind of my last little guy here. Okay, so you can kind of see how I just did a video right before this of a newborn, and I did not record any of it, and I talked to myself for like 15 minutes. It was awesome. So I hope you guys are appreciating me talking out loud while I edit. It's brand new for me. I just kind of started. So if you like it and want to know more, just let me know in the comments below, and I can try to cover other things also. If you have any questions, just let me know. So, all right. After I get all that done, I run some actions on my photos, and my favorite action database that I purchase is called Flora Bella. It's right here, and I love their action sets. I've purchased many of them. They are pricey, but they give your photos that extra pizzazz that I like, and I'll show that to you right now. So the first thing the action set I'm gonna use on this photo is the Muse actions. Have some fun with these if you do decide to purchase Florabella actions, or any actions for that matter. Have some fun with it. Go through and don't be afraid to, click and push play. You can always revert back to your original if you need to. But this is just awesome. And in saying that, I'm gonna go ahead and save this image before I run any actions, just in case. And so one of my favorite actions, I love the color X2, so let's see what that's going to look like on this image. So this is a great example to show you guys, how you're like, what? No way. Way too harsh. But you can go in here and you can adjust all of that, which is it's the greatest thing about action sets. So right away, I'm going to take away the extra boost. I'm going to take away probably gradient boost and the soft color, or the contrast. Maybe I'll leave the soft color. Okay, so already I have, I've gone from that to that, and I like the warmth of it a lot. The soft color is a little too intense, so I'm going to take that way down here, probably to 20. Subtle sunny, I like that actually. It gives the photo a nice warm feel. Might take it down a little bit. The lighten, as you can see, I'm just clicking this eyeball on and off, and that's a great way to see, the before and afters. I'm actually liking that. Once you get kind of to something that you like, you can go in and then you can start the gradient, so then you can start adding in the things that you thought maybe were too harsh in the beginning. You can add those back in once you get a base that you like. So I'm going to add back in the gradient boost, and you can play around with these. That's kind of cool, the extra color and contrast. Just make sure you think about making your person look real. You don't want them to look fake. So most of these actions are going to be really intense, and you just gotta take them way down. Okay, so as you can see, this is my before and this is after. So we're getting there. The next thing I'm gonna do, let me see, what do I want to do with you? The next thing I'm gonna do is brighten her eyes. Actually, what I'll do now, one of my favorites for seniors, this is really the only place I use this set, is under the Color Play Actions, which is another complete set that you can buy. It has a lot of awesome options. One of my favorites is there's the Drama Rama, but I want to add some drama. And maybe it's not in the set. Okay, never mind. Sorry. It is in the classic one. So under the classic, add some drama. The Drama Rama is similar, but it's more intense. So do that, add some drama. Ooh, nice. I'm going to take that way down. Okay, so try 15. Yeah, I like that. All right. So once I get the color that I like, I'm going to flatten the image, and then I'm going to go in. The final touches that I do are within the Retouch Makeover Florabella folder. The first one that you should do if you want to whiten teeth is the whiten teeth one, because a lot of times it kind of has like a quirk to it where it doesn't run correctly if there's a lot of layers in your layer palette. So I always run that one first, but her teeth aren't showing, and if they were, she wouldn't need it anyways. But I'm going to use this Quick Eye Sparkle to brighten the whites of her eyes and to really make those pop, because she has beautiful eyes. And they're just shadowed mainly because it was so cloudy this day. And not even my reflector was doing it justice. So I'm gonna put my opacity of my brush at 100% because I can adjust it back in my layers later. And you want to be careful with the all over brightening that you only get the eyeball itself. And then with the eye sparkle, that is intense. So that's gonna really whiten the reflection areas of her eyes. So obviously, too intense, right? So the first thing you're gonna do is take down your brighten, and I like the whites of her eyes being whiter. So then I'm just gonna take down this iris sparkle. She doesn't really need it, and so this is before, and this is after. So just kind of brightened her eyes quite a bit. I think this right eye looks a little bit too intense. So what I'm going to do, instead of taking down the whole opacity here, because her left eye is more shaded than her right, is I'm going to come in here with my black brush, take my opacity down to maybe like 40, make my brush big so it covers her whole eyeball, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to manually just decrease that just in that one eye. So I'll show you the before. So before and after. So I kind of took the right white of her eye down so that it matched the left. The next thing I'm going to do is another action that I really like. It's called the detail brush. Let me make sure. The detail brush is in the Color Play, Flora Bella Color Play Actions, and it is right here. This is another really intense brush that runs on the background layer, but I like to use it to kind of darken like the bottom lashes, I gotta change this to white because this is black. So you gotta do the opposite. I'm gonna take my brush back up to 100 so that I can see what I'm doing. And just kind of bring some darkness into her eyebrows there. Her top eyelashes look fine. They look really good actually. So really intense again. I'm just gonna control it on my layers panel. So before after, just give it a little bit of pop there. I'm gonna come back in right on this edge. It got to be too dark, so I'm gonna lower my brush and make my mask layer black because I'm on black, and so that way I can take away that little section there. Okay, so I'll show you the before and after. Okay. Maybe the last thing that I'll do is put in a little bit of, give her a little bit of cheek color. So that is going to be back in my retouch and makeover. And I'm going to use the rosy lips and cheeks. She doesn't need any lip color because she had just applied her lipstick. But I like to do a little, oh, my opacity went back down. I like to do a little bit of rosy cheeks there just to bring some life back. I'm gonna, not some life back, I shouldn't say it that way, but some happiness maybe? I don't know. I just like rosy cheeks. Alright, so that is that. Now that's pretty much, I'll show you the before and the after. So I'm just double checking to see if there's anything else I would change here. And I think we're good. I like it. So yeah, if you have anything that you want me to go over, just go ahead and make it in the comments below. And hope you enjoyed this tutorial of a pretty simple senior edit. Have a great day.